Welcome, 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 welcome back to 3T's. Hallelujah, where we tell the truth. So help us, Yah. Hallelujah. So today I want to discuss beast system, this world system that we're living in, this beast system. So I want to get to it because I want to get this done. It's already 7:06 p.m. California time. So I want to get right into it. Don't want to waste nobody's time. And most definitely, we don't have time to waste. I mean, we can enjoy ourselves for a little while, but we have to always be on point, be sharp with our focus, sharp with our vigilance at all times, with everyone and everything. Hallelujah. So I just want to get this out to you today. I want to say I love you. To start off with that, I send my love to my people out there, especially those called by the Most High Yah, because I know the challenges that we face. You know, there's a lot of people who claim they face those challenges, but nah. If you can determine an end date, mm, we'll see. Let's put it like that. I ain't gonna prejudge no situation. Everything is different, and it's all was based on and according to the will of the creator. So let's get into this beast system. I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can. So let's go. Beast system, Satan's temporary kingdom, is full of deception, fantasy, and lies. What is the reason for the massive deaths among the people in this world? And no particular person, just people in general, and of course, particularly the so-called black people in America. Well, Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2 says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." So the world has been mourning for too long, especially my people. Our people have been mourning for too long. Well, this beast system is the world system, not just America, it's the world system. Revelations chapter 12, verse 12 says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." So you have now, I've given you information in the last videos. I mean, every video, and they're all linking together. They're all coming together, tying a knot, linking together, because I've been trying to get this information out to our people because it is so vital that we get it, and we repent and we turn away from many things that this world system has to offer us, because we think it's innocent, we think it's nothing, but it's everything. And I mean, once people start talking and enlightening you, it should become very clear. But if you don't get it after that, then you're headed to condemnation. And that's just the truth. You're headed to condemnation. And a lot of people, that mean that most of the people are already in the state of perdition, meaning you're like just dead to what's really going on. And no matter what people say, you still are going to remain in a dead mental state. So I pray for those people. Y'all will it. Well, like a charm necklace, where everybody like necklaces, most people do at least. Like a charm necklace with different charms, but they all are connected to the same chain. The system is the same. Every country is a link operating under the will of Satan. So Satan is the chain, And all these so-called different countries are links to that chain. So Satan used knowledge he understood about heaven's orders to mimic and create his own kingdom here on earth. And he wants humans out, all humans, man, the seed of Adam. In First Adam and Eve, chapter 47, verse 3, he then said unto them, this was Satan speaking to his host, ye know that this Adam, whom Yah created out of dust, is he who has taken our kingdom. Come, let us gather together and kill him. Satan set up a world circus to lure the people away from a righteous path so that they would fall and be subjected to him and his host and his host seed, which are the Nephilims or Nephilims. So you got to understand that. Now, with Satan in control, he has created his own laws. This is why a lot of us don't understand what's really going on or why things are happening the way they are against particular people, especially my people. But I'll get into the connection why it's happening to other people. But right now, I'm just going to say it like that. Well, Satan created his own laws, legalized injustice and corruption. Satanic government is set up to oversee and protect all demonic possessed heathens and their wicked activities, and to attack Yah's chosen and his people, the fallen stars, the chosen, the people that are waking up telling the truth, that's trying to help enlighten the rest of the world, are spiritual warriors in the flesh. You understand? Like I said, we came descended from somewhere else, and we came through a portal, which was the human body. Yes. Police are trained to harass and terrorize, intimidate, and murder. Justice system is set up to incriminate and incarcerate. Medical industry is designed to experiment, get people sick, and pretend to help them by making them pretend to they pretend to make you feel better or pretend to heal you when they're not healing you. Because if you have to keep taking medicine, then you're not healed. They're just testing you. You're just a guinea pig testing some poisons that they put together to see if it will work. And sometimes the things they use do work, but most of the time it doesn't. And even then, when we use things that actually do seem to kill whatever's bothering us, where it seems to come back. So that means you're really not healed. Well, cosmetic industries influence our people to hate their natural beauty and other people too. That's why you have those people up there with that's why they idolize people. We'll get into that. Businesses are set up to discriminate against and hinder our financial growth, and banks offer credit, which is a debt system to keep people financially enslaved and stressed out if they can't pay. Just like all these other factions that they created, all of them are set up to deceive, rob us, keep us distracted from getting in tune with our inner selves, which connects us to our maker. Also, to keep us in poverty, suppressed, oppressed, mentally and spiritually destroyed, so that they can steal our souls. Because we got to understand this whole system is designed. It looks like it's a fight between people, but it's a whole design. It looks like so much is going on, but the whole point of it all is to steal souls. Steal souls. It's all about stealing your soul, stealing our souls. So we have to be very, very vigilant about this, because the more we as we press towards the end date, the more things are going to start unfolding about all this, all the lies, and all the truth is going to start coming out. So let's get into it. Wicked culture. These devils have rolled out the demonized red blood carpet. It's targeting the desires and the pleasures of the world to get everyone to embrace the dark world culture as the new way of life, to accept bad as good and good as bad. They have made the people fascinated with fashion, lust, and fornication, intoxication, demons, violence, lies, secrets, shame, and so much more. This demonized system keeps the demons feeling right at home while destroying the people at the same time. Though they have many methods that are working against the people to destroy people, I'll tell all my people who Yah called, trust Yah and keep moving towards the mark, if you are called, because it's very important, especially for you if you are called, because your punishment could be more severe, as I mentioned in a previous video, more severe than someone who's ignorant or blind. So you have to press towards the mark and don't be focused on these distractions. Yes, if you want to record them, go ahead, record them for your proof or whatever. But don't be focused on, don't let it consume your time totally, because it will become you. You understand? A lot of this stuff I know I keep focused on what I want to focus on, not what no demon wants me to focus on. But see, they'll try to use these videos and then try to mimic and make a scenario to try to get into you. But I'm very unpredictable, so it doesn't matter, and that's how I'm gonna leave it. One method these demons use to destroy people is deception. This is one of the greatest methods being used, deception. Deception is altering our perception by using chemicals, witchcraft, and entertainment. Television is telling lies to our vision, the window of our souls. The television is telling lies to our vision. Images target our desires and pleasure. They brainwash, deceive, and condition us to believe lies and to covet worthless things. To covet is to desire something you don't have that someone else has. You understand? People have become complacent with shame, unacceptable, demonized things. Those same people envy people who don't go along with the world status quo. In ignorance, people are led astray, which pulls them right into Satan's darkness, world danger zone. And if not caught by the hand of Yah, people fall flat on their faces right into hell's fire. So you've got to understand what's happening here. Now, what's another thing that Satan uses to destroy people? Alcohol. Alcohol, or what they call spirits. Now, some have you heard of that? They call alcohol spirits. There's a reason why they call alcohol and other things spirits. Like some people will tell you, they'll offer you a drink, and would you like a drink of some alcohol? Then you'll be like, sure, and they'll be like, oh, here, you can pour your own troubles. Like people don't even think about what they're saying, but I catch a lot of things and I'm like, what the? And it all starts coming together. Well, alcohol or spirits and other mind altering substances sold by these devils are welcome mats for these demons to take full control, possession of a person, which deceives the mind to do things that they was not normally thinking of doing, things that you can eventually regret later, or it can destroy a person depending on what happens to them while they're under this intoxication. You understand? In the book of the Testament of Judah, chapter 3, verse 16, 17, 24, 26, and 27, I believe it's 28 and 29, but I didn't put the full 28. I just put some information in there. It says, for much discretion needeth the man who drinketh wine, So Judah was talking to his children. He said, "My children." Then he said some things, and then he said, "A man may drink so long as he preserveth modesty, but if he go beyond this, the spirit of deceit attacketh his mind, and it maketh the drunkard to talk filthy, and to transgress, and not to be ashamed, but even to glory in his shame, and to account himself as honorable." So people who are shameless, they think they glory in their shame. They don't even realize it's shame. They just, happy to do it without thinking that it's a shameful thing. So Judas told his children, he said, "Observe therefore, my children, the right limits of wine, for there are in it four evil spirits: lust, of hot desire, what is that? Profligacy, profligacy, and of filthy lucre." So profligacy means you get loose. You know how you drink most people drink alcohol and they get loose and they be like, they be acting all wild like they never, like, you like, girl, I didn't know, or guy, I didn't know you was like that, because it changes you, it relaxes you to the point where you don't care about what you're doing. So they're saying, if you get to that point, you basically you went too far. I think we all, especially people who drink, have went to that point. But see, this is what happens when you get to that point, and it happens, and it shows in a lot of people. So let me go on. He said, Judah said, "If you drink wine in gladness, be ye modest in the fear of Yah. For if in your gladness the fear of Yah departed, then drunkenness ariseth, and shamelessness stealeth in." So it steals away in. "But if you would live soberly, do not touch wine at all, lest you sin in words of outrage, and in fighting, and slanders, and transgressions of the commandments of Yah, and ye perish before your time. And wine is a cause both of war and confusion." Alcohol always causes loose lips, speaking things that should be kept secret from certain people. So it'll make you say things that it'll make you, what they say, alcohol makes you tell the truth. So that's what they mean. Basically, you're telling people things that maybe shouldn't be spoken because you're loose at that moment and you're not thinking about what you're doing. Just like they say, it steals your mind. Alcohol steals your mind. Okay. So let's talk about money and fornication, the stuff that people don't want to talk about because they pleasure in these things and desire them so much. Now, pleasuring and desiring is one thing, but in a world system, a satanic system that was designed and built off of money is a different thing, because you may need money to buy things, but to desire and pleasure it, that's something different. Now, Judah's in the same book, Testament of Judah, chapter 3, verse 30, 31, 38, 39, 40, and 41. Judah said to his children, he said, "And now I command you, my children, not to love money, nor to gaze upon the beautiful woman, because for the sake of money and beauty I was led astray to Bathsheba." And I think they call her name in the Bible Bathsheba. She was a Canaanite, and she actually destroyed his life because, first of all, he wasn't supposed to sleep with her because she was an outside of their race, of their nation, the selected people by the Most High Yah. And he went ahead and did it to just be ignorant I guess, at the time, and it destroyed a lot of things in his life. So he basically is telling his children all these things because he know his time for passing is coming. So he said, "For I know that because of these two things shall my race fall into wickedness, Money and fornication. Sounds like what's happening right now. Beware, therefore, my children, of fornication and the love of money, and hearken to Judah your father. For these things withdraw you from the law of Yah, and blind the inclination, which is a natural and righteous feeling of the soul, and teach arrogance. Suffer not a man to have compassion upon his neighbor. So money causes people to do things that they should not do. They rob his soul of all goodness and oppress him with toil and troubles, and drive away sleep from him, and devour his flesh. And he hindereth the sacrifices of Yah, and he remembereth not the blessing of Yah. He hearkeneth not to a prophet when he speaketh, and resenteth the words of godliness. For he is a slave to two contrary passions, and cannot obey Yah, because they have blinded his soul, and he walketh in the day as in the night. So he's telling you to be careful from money, because money makes you, it takes your mind, it's basically robbing your soul. And it's very strange that these books are speaking about the things that are actually happening since then all the way up till today. That is the most honest truth. Now, why did he say, he said, don't gaze upon a beautiful woman. So before I continue, I wanted to go find this scripture that talked about some that talks about, I meant to put in there, but I didn't. So let me go ahead and just say it. This is the book of Reuben, chapter 2, verses, wait a minute, I wanted to put a specific one in there. He was saying how the woman, okay, he said, okay, chapter 2, verses, did I put this in here? I know I put one of them in here. Chapter 2, verse 13, and I'm going to go down. It says, for evil are women, my children, and since they have no power or strength over men, they use wiles by outward attractions, that they may draw him to themselves, and whom they cannot be twitched by outward attraction, him they overcome by craft. So, not all women, evil women, wicked women, whores do that. Not any woman, you know, wretched women do that, not just good women. And I'm going to mention that next time. There's the one scripture that say, hold on to a good woman. Basically, like, it's a difference. You have to know the difference. But men are not usually lured away by good women. They're lured away by whores, women who are there to steal your life from you and everything else they can. So he's saying basically these, you know, men have become a slave to these two contrary passions: money and fornication, greed and lust, basically. More on money and fornication. In Judah chapter 3, verse 42, 45, my children, the love of money leadeth to idolatry, because when led astray through money, men name as gods those who are not gods, and it causes him who hath it to fall into madness. And the price of deceit blindeth me, and I sin. So he's saying the price of this, the prince of deceit blinded me, and I sinned, being corrupted through sin, and I learnt my own weakness while thinking I was invincible. So all his life he thought he was untouchable, invincible. And most likely he was, but to there's always something that you have to be, that's why you have to be careful, be very vigilant, and be very diligent about your own personal weaknesses, because that's what the devil is searching for, your weaknesses, to destroy you. And if you run your mouth about things to everybody, oh, he's listening too. And he might be listening through the person you're telling your personal stuff to, just like Samson and Delilah. He kept telling her lies until one day he just confided in her and told her his secrets, not realizing that she was going to use it to try to destroy him. Not try, but to destroy him. So Satan is the author of lust. Tell lies, vision promotes lust, sex, fornication on almost every program they show, even children's stations, which kills us mentally. And if we dishonor ourselves by lusting as the TV shows us, it kills us spiritually. This method, lust, is one of the greatest destroyers. It disconnects us from Yah, and it is the primary key to death. In the Testament of Reuben, chapter 2, verse 7 and 12, a pit unto the soul is the sin of fornication, separating it from Yah. For if fornication overcome not your mind, neither can Beliar overcome you. Beliar, Satan, another name for Satan. Beliar, Beliar. Judah chapter 3, verse 42. Know therefore, my children, that two spirits wait upon man, the spirit of truth and the spirit of deceit. In the midst of these two spirits is the spirit of understanding and, I'm sorry, the spirit of truth and deceit is written on the hearts of man. So they're waiting on us. So either you're going to call truth to you, or you're going to call deceit to you. Music industry. Music is used to destroy us. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you. Our people used to sing about love for one another. Now the music is degrading us, and we raise it up as a golden trophy. We don't realize that listening to meaningless, ignorant, negative, demonic music becomes us. It demoralizes and destroys us. The first book of Adam and Eve, chapter 10, verse 2, 4, and 5, 6, and 7. But as to this Ginnam, Satan came into him as a child. So I spoke this one in my last video, but I'm adding the full version of it now. And he made sun-dried trumpets and horns. So after Ginnam was overcome by Satan, he helped him. He enhanced him to have all these abilities that he may not have had before Satan overcame him. So he was able to make all these instruments, cymbals, psalteries, lyres, harps, flutes, and horns, trumpets, and he played them all the time, every hour of the day. Listening to demonic music influences sin and welcomes Satan and his host and their demonic seed. Chapter 2. Well, and he said, and when he played on them, Satan came in unto them, so that from among them were heard beautiful and sweet sounds that ravished their hearts. So who did he come into? He came into the children of Cain. He came into them. So Seth's children were told to stay on a mountain and to not come down at all, to stay up there until the day of consummation. But Satan, lured Cain's children to build their town right under this mountain where Seth's children were. It's just crazy. He is just ridiculous. but I'll get into that. He did it to persuade them, to try to lead them to sin. But so let's get into it. Then he gathered companies upon companies to play on them, on these instruments. And when they played, it pleased well the children of Cain, who inflamed themselves and burned as with fire, while Satan inflamed their hearts one with another and increased lust among them. Satan also taught Genom to bring he taught him how to make strong drink out of corn. And Genom he used to bring so much drinks, but they build what they call, I was trying to think of what they call those places where our people have those houses where they go and drink, those places where they used to go drink and party like a bar before it was called a bar or anything like that. That's what they used to make. So he called them drink houses. He said he used to gather the people together in companies upon companies to these drink houses. And Genom multiplied the sin amongst the children of Cain. Genom acted in pride, and he taught all manners of the grossest wickedness. And Satan increased Genom's understanding to make weapons of war out of iron, so that when they were drunk, hatred would be manifested, and it began. He caused the children of Cain to start murdering each other. Oh, it's just out of control. It's still the same way today. So they they use drink and everything else to do it. It's not just drink anymore. It's everything, because the desire to want what you want can cause you to do things that you should not do to another person. Desires lead astray. I'm sorry. So desires lead astray. First book of Adam and Eve, chapter 20, verse 10 and 24. Then sin increased among them greatly until a man married his own sister. Excuse me. Or he married his daughter, or his mother, and others, or the daughters of his father's sister, so that there was no distinction of relationship, and they no longer knew what is iniquity, but did wickedly. And the earth was defiled with sin, and they angered Yah, the judge, who had created them. Then Genom saw from the bottom of the mountain. He looked up and he saw the children of Cain. The children of Seth, looking down on them like, what are they doing? So Satan entered into Genom and taught him to make dyeing stuff for garments of diverse patterns. So all kind of dyes with different patterns, and that's where you get the makeup and all this stuff all over your eyes, the lipstick, the powder on your face, all that, the stuff on your fingers, your toes and body, the art and all that. He got it all from there. This is why the Most High have all this in His laws, not to do these things. It's making perfect sense. So after um, now overstand, Satan's plan was to get the children off the holy mountain, stop them from praying because they prayed day and night all day. The children of Seth. He wanted to stop them from praying and to lead them into sin. And eventually, that's exactly what he did. Because he said to the children, he said to them, he got Genom, he got into Genom, and he said, "Come, let us go." No, the children of Seth told his brothers, he said, "Come, let us go down to the children of Cain and see what they do and enjoy ourselves with them." So after leaving the mountain, the holy mountain, and defiling themselves with the children of Cain, drinking, partying, having sex with women that they shouldn't have been having sex with, same with the woman probably was having sex with men they shouldn't have been having sex with. After leaving the mountain, they tried to go back up, after they got done partying. There was no going back, you know. They consciously knew what they were doing. It wasn't like they were just ignorant, about what was going on. They consciously made a choice to go down off the mountain and participate in Hellenic way of life. But they couldn't go back up the mountain when they tried to go back up the mountain because there was no way really up. I don't know. I forgot how they described how Satan opened a way for them to come down the mountain, but there was really no way to go down the mountain or up the mountain. They were supposed to stay on the mountain until the day of consummation, but they were so desperately in yearning to figure out what they were doing down there because they made it so appealing. They ended up going down the mountain by Satan's helping them, and they weren't able to go back up the mountain. But they were stuck in perdition from that point on, basically. Now, there's rich men in this world who are part of this beast system that help fuel a lot of things about this beast system. Many things in this system, but the main one, like I said, is lust. And how do you get people to lust? You fuel them with alcohol and drugs, and you take their mind away. So that's why I'm directing it all on those specific things. That's what gets us to the thing that destroys us over all things. Lust, and alcohol is what leads to that lust, and then of course greed, money, you know, especially if you're never satisfied. The rich are puppets of Satan and his demons, besides other people of the world, but they're like the main puppets. They look as if they are godly on the outside, but their words and actions tell us different. They fuel the wickedness on earth within our communities. The gang banging, you know, the racism towards our own people, like racism within our own nation, like light and dark skin. I don't like you because you're dark skin, or I don't like you because you're light skin, or not even just that. I hate you because, and you don't have to like somebody because of their skin, but to hate people because of it is something ridiculous. But it happens. The racism within our own community. So basically, we have to overstand that these devils are the reason for these things happening. Now, the book of Enoch, chapter 96, verse 4 says, "Woe unto you, ye sinner, for your riches make you appear like the righteous, but your heart convicts you of being a sinner." Should we treat people better because of how much money they have or how fancy they may be dressed? No. Why is that? Why shouldn't we? Well, in the book of Sirach, I mean, it makes sense you shouldn't treat anyone different no matter who they are. But, in the book of Sirach, chapter 8, verse 2, it says, at variance, be not at variance with a rich man, lest he overweigh thee. For gold hath destroyed many and perverted the hearts of kings. So it has most definitely changed the hearts of people, not just kings, all levels of people, high and low, in and out, good and bad. You hear on TV many people in the industry say things like, "I give thanks to God. If it had not been for God, first of all, I want to thank God." Well, they are not thanking Yah Almighty, but Satan. So do not be deceived. No man can serve two masters, what our creator said. He said, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yah and Mammon. So he's Mammon as well. So he's saying you can't serve me and serve money. Yah wants us to live very good. Yes, he does. He also knows this world is corrupt and wicked. And the more money one gains, so the more money we make, the more problems and danger comes our way. So this is why the Most High does not want his people that he knows are for him to fall into this financial greed state. So let's get into idolatry. Mm-mm-mm-mm. What is the reason for the fourth and fifth commandment? Yah told us not to make nor worship any graven images. The first book, Infancy of Christ, chapter 4, verse 7 through 8. And there was by this idol a priest ministering to it, who, as often as Satan spoke out of that idol, related the things he said to the inhabitants of Egypt and those countries. The priest had a son 3 years old who was possessed with a great multitude of devils, who uttered many strange things. And when the devils seized him, walked about naked with his clothes torn, throwing stones at those who he saw. This is why the Most High tells us not to be idolizing or commit idolatry, because Satan messes around with these things. So all those statues that people try to put in their houses, saying things like they're African statues, or they're from our people. No, those things come. Satan uses those things as a channel to get here, as a portal. That's why he tells us don't put nothing in our house. That's why I was like, I've never had anything in my house, and maybe I need to take this stuff down. Because I've never had anything hung up in my house until this house. I think, wait, did I have anything in the last house? I don't think I had anything in the last house. But in this house, I don't have nothing like that in here. But still, anything, he looks at it like anything is like idolizing, but I'm not idolizing it at all. He knows in my heart and my mind I'm not. But still, you know, this is why he teaches us not to. So, what else is idolatry? Is it just putting statues up and things like that, or pictures and images of things, or people, or beings, or monsters, or whatever they want to call it? Idolizing entertainers, most, if not all of them, have given themselves over to Satan and other evil spirits for money and fame. So not only would you be idolizing the person, you will also be idolizing a demonic spirit. Now, the medical industry, who the world we have been relying on all our lives, is not designed to heal our people. Natural healing and earthly medicines hinder the growth of the greedy and rich. They will kill to keep people from using nature's method to heal them. That actually heals people, to keep people from going to their poison centers. So, natural medicine, natural healing actually heals you completely. Like, no worries, never hear a problem again. But when you go to these doctors and medical centers and healthcare, you constantly going back and forth for the same stuff. Noah received instructions from an angel of Yah on natural healing when his sons were being afflicted by demons. Like I told you, demons are the reason for sicknesses and illnesses. Now, the world tries to inflict us with chemicals that cause problems to the body as well. So, how that combination creates just a toxic environment in your body, I'm not sure, and I pray I will never know. A virtuous woman, well, first of all, in the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, verse 10, and the book of Paul and Thecla, chapter 10 and 16, and chapter 17 and 18. For he commanded us that we should teach Noah all their medicines, and Noah wrote down all things in a book. And as we instructed him concerning every kind of medicine, Paul and Thecla chapter 6 or verse 16. Hereby a good report was spread everywhere on Thecla, and she wrought several miracle miraculous cures, so that all the city and adjacent countries brought their sick that to that mountain, and before they came as far as the door of the cave, they were instantly cured of whatsoever distemper they had. Now, Tekla was a virtuous woman. She was an older woman, old woman, but she was a virgin. She never had sex. She was very holy. She was given power to cast out demons, and that's what healed the people because there were demons that caused all their problems. The unclean spirits were cast out, making a noise. All received their sick made whole and glorified Yah, who had bestowed such power on the virgin Thecla. So all of them that received who all got healed, praise Yah after their. Verse 18, insomuch that the physicians of Seleucia were now of no more account, and lost all the profit of their trade, because no one regarded them, upon which they were filled with envy and began to contrive what methods to take with this servant of Yahshua. So Tekla was healing people, getting rid of the demons, and these physicians became very envious and wicked in their mind, and they're like, what can we do, to destroy this woman because she's messing up our business. Same thing with the medical center now. Like they killed the America and all the other countries working together had killed those 50 holistic doctors, including Dr. Sebi. Killed them because they were healing people naturally. You got to know this is a demonized place that we're in. Who would kill someone for doing a good thing? Just like with Yahshua, they killed him for healing people naturally, doing a good thing on the Sabbath, but they used the Sabbath as a way to say he's defying the Most High. He was doing a good thing. I don't think the Most High would have had a problem with him doing a good thing on the Sabbath. Yes, we have to honor the Sabbath, but there are some things that are not going to be you're not going to be punished for because you did something on the Sabbath. If you help someone, you know, it's a difference. But the same thing that happened then, same things that's happening now. Evil thoughts. Satan plants evil thoughts in the minds of people again. I'm not sure why some people actually carry out his will. If they're unaware of those thoughts are not theirs, or they just think they are their thoughts. And I mean, like, how can you think something is your thoughts if you weren't thinking it? Like, you don't know what's in your mind. But anyway, they suggested Satan, he plants things in your mind. So they said in Paul and Thecla, chapter 11, verse 1, the devil then suggested bad advice to their minds. So he suggested bad advice to the physicians' minds when they became envious and started thinking of what can we do to destroy her? What did the devil suggest for them? He said to them in verse 2, now let us procure some rankish fellows, some old scrubbish dudes, and after we have made them sufficiently drunk and given them a good sum of money, let us order them to go and debauch this virgin, which is like gang raping her, promising them. So they said, let us get them drunk and get them to gang rape this virgin. And let's promise them if they do it, we'll give them a larger sum of money. These physicians they wanted to corrupt her so that the power that was given to her by Yah would be removed from her, just as with Samson and his dreadlocks. When they were cut off, his power was gone. He had it no more. Evil devices. We're going to get into that, but right now I'm just going to give you a little information about it. The book of Adam and Eve, 29, verse 1. But when the merciful Yahshua saw that Satan wished to kill Adam with his manifold devices, Yahshua saw that Adam was meek and without guile. Yahshua spake unto Satan in a loud voice and cursed him. You know, what are some of Satan's devices in this world today? Energy weapons, mind altering technology, witchcraft, illusions, chemical warfare. Why are blacks targeted for extermination? We already went over some of that. Most of the main reasons for that. Yah, cover all our people with your protective, amazing grace. Because I don't want to speak nothing in no one's life. What what will be gained if we all just die? Power and control over the entire earth is what they assumed they would get. In the book of Adam and Eve, 47, 7 and 8. But Satan, the hater of all good, thought within himself, whereas Yah has promised salvation to Adam by covenant, and that he would deliver him out of all the hardships that have befallen him, but has not promised me by covenant, and will not deliver me out of my hardship. Nay, since he has promised him and his seed to dwell in the kingdom in which I once was, I will kill Adam. The earth shall be rid of him and shall be left to me alone, so that when he is dead, he may not have any seed left to inherit the kingdom that shall remain my own realm. He's saying that if he kill Adam, the earth will remain his own realm. And he said, Yah will then be in want of me, and he will restore me to it with my host. So Satan will do anything to destroy man off this earth with by all means necessary. Any means necessary. Poisoning you, murdering you, getting you to kill yourselves, getting you to believe in deceit and deception that leads you to hell, all the anything possible. I've never been deceived. Maybe a little foggied up about things, but not deceived. I'm not perfect though, because we all have fallen short. That's the point. Now, what is the main devices that they're using today on our people? Chemical warfare agents, toxic poisons. Like they said, you know, when the sky is covered as a blanket, these devils release toxic chemicals in the air. It creates freezing or very hot temperatures intended to weaken our minds and body, then to get us sick. They said, remember, I told you in the covenant they wrote, we will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metal aging accelerators and sedatives in food and water and in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. So that means in your bras, your drawers, your socks, your pants, your hair scarves, your weaves, wigs, whatever, your jackets, everything, your car, your home, your food. I know they are doing that. They really are. How do they keep our lifespan short? Like they said, we will keep their lifespan short. Yeah. What do they use? They are killing us silently. What are they using to kill us silently? They use chemical warfare agents to destroy our health, physical abilities, our mental ability, and then they feed us toxic poisons as medications that cause us sickness, which then make us sicker physically and mentally, suppressing us, which kills us spiritually. They said that the soft metals that they use will cause us to lose our people to lose their minds. They said they will promise to find a cure from their many fronts, their medical centers, their medical specialists, yeah, their medicines, all those are fronts. Yet we will feed them more poisons. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouth. So that means like a lotion. We think it's sweet smelling lotion. We put it on our bodies, but we're absorbing through our skins poison as well as the things we put in our mouths. That's why you have to be very vigilant about what you're using. They said they will destroy our minds and reproductive systems. From all this, they said our children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information so they will keep it all hidden. They saying that your children ain't gonna have a chance. And unfortunately for a lot of our people, that is a true statement. They have destroyed the opportunities and dreams of our people, not just by the poisons and the chemicals that they use, because our bodies are stronger than that, but the combination of all of it, you know, hindering us, poisoning us, getting us to turn against each other, hindering our growth and development. All these things combined together. It's like one big monopoly game, and they're playing us. Chemical warfare agents, as defined, that I found online, is any toxic chemical or precursor that can cause death, injury, temporary incompa- incapacitation, incapacitation, or sensory irritation through its chemical action. Chemical warfare agents include five categories. That's what they said, but I actually found more. Nerve agents attack the nervous system. Asphyx- Asphyxiants, I don't know what the heck they mean. Asphyxiants are gases that deprive body tissue of oxygen. So they cause you to die from not being able to breathe. Toxic industrial chemicals can be in the gas, liquid, or solid state. Most of these can be in a gas, liquid, or solid state, though, or aerosol state. They can be chemical hazards, carcinogens, reproductive hazards, corrosive or agents that affect the lungs or blood. Physical hazards, flammable, combustible, explosive, or reactive. Blood agents. The body, by being absorbed in the blood, so it affects the body by being absorbed into the blood. Blood agents, that was blood agents. Psychomimetics agents, they affect your perception, how you see things, and your mood by creating hallucinations or disturbances of thoughts. Then there's a blistering agent, which is affects your skin, cause injuries to your skin that looks like burns. Like a lot of people get these. I've been noticing people I know would, and it happened to me. There where it looked like this part of the face was burned, and I knew it wasn't because something was wrong with my skin. I knew my skin wasn't that sensitive not to be getting something like that, and it's gone now. So obviously it wasn't natural. And hydrogen cyanide, they said that one affects the whole body, particularly affecting those organs that are low or sensitive to low oxygen levels, which is your central nervous system, which is the brain, your cardiovascular system, which is the heart, and blood vessels, and the pulmonary system, which is the lungs. Choking agents impede a victim's ability to breathe. It causes eye and skin corrosion. Incapacitating agents, I told you they affect your psychological abilities. They also changes things in your brain. It causes your brain to become filled with mucus or irritated by mucus. It can cause you to have diarrhea or what they call hyperthermia. Right control agents causes pain, burning, and irritation, and it also affects the mucous brains and the skins. So all up in here, and a lot of things. These things. How can we trust this demonic system? This is the type of stuff they keep. If we came to, I mean, like they call themselves trying to monitor us. Who is monitoring them? I thank Yah Almighty that He is. I do. I thank Yah Almighty He is. Well, this is what the problem is. See, when we wear all these scents, so I call it the cover up. When we wear all these scents like perfumes, colognes, we use detergents, we spray air fresheners, we have hair products with scents, body lotions, body washes, etc., etc., etc. These things cover up our senses to detect harmful, poisonous, toxic chemicals they spray and put in our environments. Whether inside our homes, at work, in our vehicles, or just outside, you know, hanging out. These scents and everything make it a little bit more difficult for most people. I ain't gonna say all, but most people to detect the things that are being put around us intended to hurt or harm us. For example, if we smell exhaust from a car, we think nothing of it. You understand? Because you smell it all the time. And some people become immune to it because in our mind, we have been deceived to believe, with our own mind, to think that, oh, it must be a passing car or it must be from a car, somebody must have started their car or whatever, warming up their car, when in actuality, it was a demonized attack on that person's house or that person. These demonic entities spray chemicals all season to keep our people suppressed mentally and physically. They causes colds and flu symptoms, stomach aches and pains, nerve pains and tensions, muscle fatigue, weaknesses and aches, blurry and sore eyes, headaches, so-called breast cancer, which is not breast cancer. It start off as maybe a cyst or a lump, and you go to the doctor, and then they tell you make up some stuff that is cancer. There's high and low blood pressure, diabetes, lumps in your body, cavities and toothaches, heavy menstruation or running menstruation, diseases, illnesses, and everything else you can think of almost besides something that happens by real, messing your own self up, like breaking a bone from falling or doing something crazy. Diseases and illnesses and sicknesses, they're not natural. They're not natural at all. Let's get into this before I go. I got three more slides. So, worthless seed. Yah destroyed men with flood. He destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah with brimstone and fire. And then he's destroyed our people, the Jews, the black Hebrews, with slavery. And he's going to do it again. But this time, he's going to use fire, floods, and earthquakes. Why? Why is Yeshua going to allow these things to happen? Because Yeshua only gives the life. Like I said, he had a covenant with Adam and for 5,500 years, which he told Adam in his time, he said it was 5 days and a half. So in his time, it was 5 days and a half, but in our time, it's 5,500 years, which that may not be altogether accurate either, but the point is, he gave him a time to get it right, all the people. And he loses patience and his mercy for wickedness. He also destroys things and people for his people he calls sake, for the people he protects, who he loves, who he looks down on and admire. He destroys for them. Now, the secret of Enoch, chapter 34, verse 1. Why do he destroy? Why do he allow destruction, set up situations for destruction to come up on people? Why do he call out destruction on people? Because they have rejected my covenant, is what he said, and my yoke. He calls the people worthless seed has come up, not fearing Yah, and they would not bow down to me, but have begun to bow down to vain gods, and denied my unity, and have laden the whole earth with untruths, offenses, abominable lecheries or greed, or sexual things that are abominable, lust, namely one with another, and all manner of other unclean wickedness, which are disgusting to relate. Have all our men become worthless seed? Have all of our people become worthless seed? Have the whole world become worthless seed? Our people were here to be the change the world needed, the Gentiles needed. When we were set apart, we were supposed to be that difference, that guide for everyone else to follow. Now, our people were here to be the change. How did they lead us away from righteousness path? How did the blind deceive us? I'm still trying to figure that one out. In the book of the Testament of Levi, chapter 4, verse 13 and 14. For as the heaven is purer than Yahshua's sight, the heaven is purer in Yahshua's sight than the earth. So the heaven is purer than the earth. So also be ye the light of Israel, purer than all the Gentiles. But if ye be darkened through transgression, what therefore will all the Gentiles do living in blindness? So he's saying, what will the Gentiles do if you're blind and they're blind? Where can two blind men go? What can they do? Nothing. They're gonna fall together. Second Esdras chapter 6, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. And after these, Adam also whom thou madest Lord over all thy creation, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, or O Yahshua, because thou madest the world for our sake. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle or spit, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. I guess it feels good to believe deception in place of truth. That Yahshua loved the whole world, that makes people feel more comfortable, but that's not the truth. He loves those who do righteousness, who live in truth and righteousness. So you can go from not being loved to love, you know, if you're not there already. And now, O Lord, or Yahshua, behold, these heathens which have never been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us. How did that happen? And to devour us? But we, thy people, whom thou hast called, who has been called the firstborn, the only begotten, and thy fervent love are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sake, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Second Esdras chapter 4, verse 35 and 36. He said, when will come the harvest of our reward? Jeremiah, the archangel, answered them and said, when the number of those like yourselves is complete. So when those who become righteous like you, who was called to be righteous, is complete, those who's called, when that last one is out of the darkness, when we're perfected in our hearts and our souls, that's when we will get back what belongs to us. Battle for soul. Before I go, all praise be to the Most High Yah, the eternal Creator, and His Son, Yeshua, who was given all the power, who is our Maker, our Creator, our God. Now, the battle for the soul is deep. Satan will do anything. He will use anything and anyone he can to destroy the souls of the people. Second Adam and Eve, verse 3, chapter 15. I'm sorry, chapter 3, verse 15. Then Yah sent his word unto Adam, saying, O Adam, that figure is the one that promised thee the Godhead and majesty. He is not favorably disposed towards thee, but shows himself at one time in the form of a woman, of an angel, another occasion in the similitude of a serpent, another time in the semblance of a god. But listen, this is what he's saying. He's saying to let's just speak this to the world from today all the way back to Adam. He's saying, but he does it all he does it all to only destroy thy soul. He does all this just to destroy your soul. He has built this world and made it look so good to destroy your soul. Overstand, Yah is always trying to help us from falling. When these devils are misleading people, but it's us, the people, who ignores his warnings. We can't see or hear when he's trying to help us when we are detached, believing in lies and in a system designed to destroy us, following the Hellenic way of life destroys our connection with our Maker. Hallelujah. Oh. Now, therefore, O Adam, understand thy heart. He's saying, understand your own heart. I have delivered you many a times from Satan's hands. He said his hands. He said, I have delivered thee many a times from his hands, in order to show thee that I am a merciful Yah, and that I wish thy good, and that I do not wish thy ruin. If we are being destroyed, and Yah tells us he is not wishing our ruin, who think that's a part of Yah's plan? That's not a part of Yah's plan. It's a part of the fall of man. It's a part of the ignorance. It's a part of the blindness. It's a part of pride. It's the part of desire of lust and pleasures. That's what leads to these things. But Second Esdras chapter 6, 33, before I go, he said, believe. Yah said, I do not wish your ruin. He said, believe and do not be afraid. Believe, 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 believe. All Satan want to do is destroy your soul. I don't wish your ruin. but it's Him. You need to not be afraid. You need to believe what I'm telling you. Believe that I will come and save you. Believe that my hand is holding on to you. But if you let go, what can I do? Sometimes it gets real hard. And you just got to keep holding on. So until next time I speak over your life, like I said, nothing comes greater than having peace in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, in your body, in your flesh. I speak love into your life. If you don't love yourself, ain't no greater love than to love yourself and not being arrogant or prideful about it, but just self love. You can, if you don't love yourself, you cannot love no one else. You can't. So I speak love into your life. I pray that love comes and find those who don't have love. Love cleans up a lot of things from us that ain't right. It helps cleanse you. Yah is love, and His love helps to perfect you. You know, just how it took time to destroy you, it takes time to get it right. It's just everybody's different how long it's going to take. But it can happen if you put the effort in. It's a fight. Everything is a fight. Fight for what's right. Fight for something worth fighting for. Stand for something or fall for everything. So until next time, my people, Y'all bless you. Y'all bless us all. And whatever challenges you may be facing, I pray that He pulls you through. I pray He pulls us all through and back to His righteousness and back to our glory, back to our honor, back to our strength. So I love you. Bless you. Praise Yah. Glory to our King Yahshua. I got something for you, but it's not today. Next time. Love you. 3T's is out. They didn't ruin my Facebook stream. Oh well. Life goes on.